right, welcome back to Slip Joint Display. I wanted to do an update video for this red 86 from the Richter Challenge and then talk about some other knives. I've been carrying this every day per the challenge. You know, I had this knife for a long time and I sent it out to Slip Joint Spa to have the awl deleted off it and got it back. And right after I got it back, Richter put out his challenge for a 1 month carry. Take a knife that you haven't carried a whole lot, Safe Queen or whatever, put it in your pocket, carry it every day and use it. You carry other knives if you want, just make sure you've got that knife on you and you're carrying it and using it every day. And I think the idea of the challenge was to carry the knife, build a relationship with it, connect with it, and it's working. It was a good idea. It's a great challenge, and I'm really digging this knife. I really am. I'm not even carrying this with a slip. This is just in the pocket, and I'm just letting the chips fall where they may, but I love this thing, and I love having it in my pocket. I'm also enjoying how easy access it is without the slip, to be honest. But, yeah, I mean, you can see the patina development on this. It's really coming along good. I'm really digging it. I think the action's opening up. This thing always closed with such a hard thud, and it's already getting a better sound to it, so I really like that. You can see the bolsters are less polished, and the shield, you can see the scratches on the shield. That's just from it being in the pocket. If I throw a lighter or change in my pocket or whatever, the shield's taking scratches. But I can dig it. I don't need it to look brand new. The grain on the micarta has come out quite a bit. At least it seems that way. I don't know. Seems like it's lightening up some, but what I'm not getting from it is pink. It seems to be holding red, so I can dig that. I'm happy with it. And it might be the case that the sides of the knife are starting, like the corners are starting to darken up some. I don't know if that's picking up on camera or not, but either way, I'm really enjoying it. So, and I am building a relationship with this knife. I mean, the challenge is working. So this knife, I don't think I could ever part with it, even, you know, just this far in, just a few weeks in. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I did touch up this edge today. I've stropped it a handful of times in the last 2 weeks, you know, during this challenge. But today I actually put it on the, just on the final stone, just the 1 micron stone from Knives, and brought up the polish a little bit and then stropped it. I was thinking, yeah, it had crossed my mind, you know, should I do a full sharpening? And it wasn't necessary. I mean, this is okay the way it is. Besides, it's getting used enough that it's just constant use on this. I mean, that's also part of the challenge, is that you use the knife every day. And this is cut packages and cardboard and tape and fruit and meat and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not worried about the edge at this point. If it needs a full sharpening before the end of the challenge, I'll do that, but it wasn't necessary yet. But before getting to this today, I did do some other sharpening. So this Northwoods Heritage Jack hadn't been in my pocket in a little while. This needed to be sharpened. It had lost the bite on the edge and wasn't really coming back from stropping as much as I wanted. That's usually where I draw the line. But with a knife like this, you know, between the rarity of it and the high value of it and the fact that it's saber ground, it's one that if I'm going to sharpen, especially a full sharpening, I'm really going to take my time on and make sure that I do it right. So because it's saber ground, as you sharpen in and move into the primary grind with that edge bevel, the edge bevel is going to get wide very quickly. And I don't like that. I like my edge bevels to be tight. So, you know, being that I'm starting off with a coarse stone and all that, and this is, you know, thicker behind the edge than most GECs are, it's a case where I really want to take my time with it and not make any mistakes, not do any more sharpening than really what's necessary. But I'm happy with the way that it turned out. I think it looks good. I love this thing. This is absolutely grail territory. So I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did. I'm looking forward to getting it back in my pocket. Also, I had to sharpen up these two 93s, older and newer. This old one in Coca-Cola, Old Faithful here. You can see the amount of carry on this just from the patina. This guy spent a lot of time in my pocket, a lot of time in my hand. I even cleaned this patina off once, and it's gotten used so much it's come back as much as it is, and it wasn't forced. I mean, it just from use came back to this degree. So, but the 93 is just such a good pattern. I was having problems with the tips blunting, and I spent a while trying to figure out from what. I think that I was just closing the knives too hard. I tend to do that. I like a hard snap, and I open them hard and I close them hard. But what I was doing was I was closing from here, pushing down from up near the pivot, which is harder to do because you don't have the leverage. If you come out here, you've got more leverage on the knife. It's easier to close there. If you do it from up near the pivot, it's harder to do, so you push harder, and when it goes, it really goes. I mean, it almost acts like a detent ball on a modern folder. So if you push from back here, you're going to get a harder snap. The problem with that is that you can also get blade wrap and other issues, and I think in the case of these 93s, I was doing that, and they were closing down. Kick hits the back spring, and I think it was hitting it so hard the back spring was moving out and allowing that tip to connect with inside the well. I think that's what was going on. That's my theory, at least. So, fully sharpened, fix the tips. No more hard snapping like that, just doing it normal, and no issues with the tips. That looks fine, no fingernail catching on it. Same with this one here. This Northfield satin snakewood. Good action on this one. Not as good as the Coca-Cola, but probably the best of the run of the 2493s. You know, 9333124 is the number there. These were 2019. Yeah. The 2019 run would be just about impossible to beat, but I think they did an all right job with the 24 run. I definitely dig this model. Like I said, I can't decide. I mean, these satin models were low number, right? I don't know if I reviewed this on Slip Joint Display, or if I do videos for the Ball Steel Blades channel as well, and this may have been one I did on there. But at any rate, I like this model. I dig this knife. It just I'm inclined to patina the blade, but if I do that, I have to stop and ask myself, what's the difference between the two besides the slight variation in wood, and the pull is shorter. I mean, I almost feel like I should keep it oiled and keep it clean, even though I've already sharpened it several times, so all that collector value out of the fact that it's a satin Northfield is out the window. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is the sharpest out of the three that I did today. I think the edge is laid back a little bit more. It's a great edge on it. All four of these are hair whittling sharp, but this one just feels like it's a small step ahead. And when I did these three today, I did them all at the same time. So, you know, get out the coarse stone, do the Northwoods, then the 93, the old 93, then the new 93. Both sides, move to the fine stone, do the Northwoods, both 93s, etc., down through the final, down through the strap. This one I did after the fact. But I needed to get these three sharpened, and this was just a touch-up of convenience. I had the time. And I had this video in mind, so I figured I would go ahead and just throw it on that final stone and See if I can bring the edge up a little bit more. I definitely need a full sharpening at some point, but I don't need it yet. But I'm digging the challenge, and I can't wait to get these knives back in my pocket now that I fixed what I needed to fix. And get it back in my rotation. What are your thoughts on the challenge? What are your thoughts on knife maintenance? Keeping up on things. How often do you do it? How far do you take it? I'm digging the challenge, Richter. Get down in the comments. Let us know what you think. I'll see you guys on the next video.